you people doing? How you guys doing over here? You good? Can I get you to do me a favor and come around here to the rest of the family? Come on. Yeah, come on. Yeah, come over. Bring it in. I'm gonna need your help on this. I'm gonna need your help on this next song. So everybody get as close as you can. All right, not yet. Easy. I'll let you know. I'll let you know when it's time. Hey, if you have a drumstick, that's not safe. That's not a safe place for that. If you have a drumstick, then make sure you're close enough to hit the drum, all right? Not yet. I'll let you know. Thank you. That's... All right, watch me for your cue. This song's called 7 Summers. That's not a safe space, man. No. I found a lyric in a language just so I can sing. If I could take a count and pick the sound of 7 summers, I dreamt the sun and volumes tuning from the peasantry. But then I woke in disappointment, clutching to the covers. I'm cold and lonely and I'm shaking like a tambourine. So if you feel a little faded, I can raise the sun. Be there tomorrow, I'll still beg or borrow. It's time that I saw you again. Brother, leave your suitcase and your plan. Shake it like you shook when you first fell into my hand. Brother, leave your suitcase and your plan. Shake it like you shook when you first fell into my hand. I'm wasting arrows, chasing sparrows, so elusive. I pulled out a ticker tape array to fight the fate of feeling. I'll bite the bone and suck the marrow when the juice is out. 'Cause when the wagon hit the weeds, I wish I wasn't sleeping. So I got margins half this narrow for the choosing now. This kind of thing has a way to make a man believe in something so simple. You can't feel the symbol with everything I understand. So it began. Brother, leave your suitcase and your plan. Shake it like you shook when you first All right, I need those. I need those six-pack now. All right, you having fun yet? Oh, come on, Savannah, you having fun yet? You're holding up the stick that I just told you I needed back. I never would have known if you hadn't held it up. Did you just me? Keep it. Keep it. If it's gonna be like that, then keep it. Just don't talk to me. What? Talk to me later. Okay. Don't want to whistle. All right. This is for the next time you come after me. All right. You guys having a good time yet? Awesome. I'm Mobley. I'm from Austin, Texas. I'm going to play a love song now.
I'll be patient, I'll be steady.
Man, this whistle's really heavy. You want it back? Happy birthday. That's my gift to you. In front of everybody. Oh, man. So once again, my name is Mobley. Hi, Savannah. How you doing? So I'm on tour right now in support of my new record. It's called Some Other Country, and it's really good. And it's, or so I'm told. That's a quote. That's a quote. That's not me. So it's available. If everybody turns around right now, turn around and look. You see that lovely display right there? There are CDs and T-shirts and tank tops and buttons, and then these digital 7-inch things there. For each of the singles from the record, I did a kind of photographic series, and we did prints of the 7-inch prints of the photographs, so like these pieces of art, and then they come with the download of the song. It's very sophisticated. You should get one. It'll make you look. What's that? Yes, you'll hang it in your house, and then people will ask who it is, and you'll be like, oh, it's this artist. I mean, he's from. I mean, you've never heard of her. Don't worry about it. That's what you'll do. I know that's what you'll do if you get it. And exactly, until next year. And then you'll have to take it down. Anyway, this has gone way longer than I intended. I'm basically trying to say, go buy stuff if you want. And if you don't go buy stuff, we've also got an iPad set up back there. Put your email address on there. We'll send you some free music, let you know about the next time we're back in Savannah so we can do this again. You guys want to do this again? Oh, come on, you want to do this again, Savannah? That's what I like to hear. All right, this song's called Swoon.
How's it going, Wormhole? How's it going, Wormhole? Let me hear some noise. Welcome to Comedy Planet. My name is Derek. This is the once-a-month show that we do every first Saturday. Really quick. Like, I don't want to freak anyone out. You guys all look beautiful. I was going to say. Really quick, any birthdays in here? Well, that doesn't count. I mean, we can. How are we going to... Okay, well, we're going to get you a shot on Thursday. That's cool. I'm going to say, that means you get to come. Oh, is it? Well, congratulations. I don't like to... Last week, hold on. How old did you turn, sir? No, you guys didn't. Come on. How old did you really turn? Oh, that is beautiful. I'm not 40 yet, but I want to look like both of you guys as soon as I hit 40. It's going to be... Thank you. I was gonna. Actually, you guys, those are my parents. They came out here to support me. So thanks, Mom and Dad. So I like to start. I always like to test my audience with a joke. I always like to test my audience with a joke just to see how cool you guys are. Here we go. So I don't go Black Friday shopping anymore. Anyone else? Does anyone go Black Friday shopping? No. Smart crowd. I don't go Black Friday shopping anymore because the scariest thing happened to me last year. I'm standing in line. A guy leans forward to me. He's like, hey, what are you in line to buy? I'm like, I don't know, a TV. Me being courteous, I lean back to him, ask him the same question. And he says, oh, I don't have any money. I'm just here to fight niggas. And yeah, no more Black Friday for me. I got Amazon Prime the next day. Scariest part about that? Small Asian man. So everything I learned about dating women, like I learned from rap music videos. Why'd you shook your, you don't know which rap music videos. I was gonna say, I'm not pouring champagne on girls on a first date. That's, all right, but everything I learned, because I'm a big fan of saving strippers. Does anyone in here know what that means? One dude lives in the strip club. Everyone else. Saving strippers is just when you go into a strip club and you see a girl who is making $2,000-$3,000 a night and you say, you don't need any of that, baby. We can both sleep on this futon. Like, it's one of my favorite things to do. Actually, the only line I tell a girl whenever I'm talking to her, the only line is, girl, I can take you away from all this. It's nice, I know. It sounds like I'm going to take her to some country we both can't pronounce. The worst part about that is, like, I'm poor. I can't take you away from anywhere. I had to get a ride here. He has to take both of us away from here. You know how upsetting that is? Talking to a girl and seeing if you have permission to leave. I'm like, hey, I really like what's happening right now. Would you like to go back to my place? Hold on. Hey, Chris, you ready to go? Nah, not yet. Okay, that's going to be 15 minutes, girl. He just got that drink. That's what happened. Worst part, she spends the night, then your roommate has to give both you guys a ride to work. Okay, I see a lot of people, homeowners in here. That's cool. You know what? I mean, hey, I'll tell you this. Like, I thought that joke was okay. Have you played Dracula Pinball? Let's all take 15 minutes out of the show to go hit the high score on that. Also, I'm related to those dudes also, so it's cool. Thanks, Mom and Dad. They don't care. I like all of you guys. This is dope. I'm gonna do one more joke and then get off stage because I have so many comedians for you guys tonight. Really quick, give it up for yourselves. Oh, you guys, I can't wait. These are some of my favorite comics. They came from all over, and I can't wait to have you guys see them. But I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. I don't like to judge people. I do not like to judge people. But if you still have a flip phone in 2016, we both know your life didn't turn out how we wanted it. All I'm saying is if you go get lunch with someone and they pull out a flip phone, y'all aren't getting separate checks. He's like, yeah, I got you back next Tuesday. That's what that is. Actually, I was out talking to a girl, and I used to have an old flip phone, and she asked me if she could put her number in my phone, and then didn't do it because it was too much work. Has anyone been cock-blocked by T9? I'm the only person? Oh, your name's Anastasia? Yeah, girl, just hit that 2 and that 7 36 times. You're at the top of the list. Okay, you guys, welcome to Comedy Planet. My name is Derek Marshall, and we have so many hilarious comedians for you guys. But first, I always like to bring up a local guy. He is very funny, so I want you to show him all the love in the world. Give it up for Mr. Jay Bogus.
Wormhole. How you guys doing tonight? You guys, I'm kind of a shut-in. I don't really go out a lot. But a couple of weeks ago, I went clubbing. And it was pretty interesting. You know, the ladies were all over me. And by ladies, I mean white guys asking me if I had cocaine. I don't know what it was about me that night that just screamed, I have cocaine on me. I mean, I dressed like Magnum P.I. I mean, I don't know what. But, yeah, I mean, I'm in my 30s now, and I'm getting too old for clubs. It's like going and having non-penetrative sex on a dance floor to the dulcet tones of Pitbull. Isn't as exciting as it was when I was 19. But there's a place I found, and I want to share this advice with you guys. There's somewhere I found that I actually do enjoy going to and just hanging out, having a great time. And that place is gay bars. Stick with me straight, man. Gay bars are awesome to go to as a straight man. Here's why. Why should women be the only ones that get to go out and drink surrounded by men they don't want to fuck? I want to feel beautiful sometimes too. But it was great, you know. I drank for free all night. Gay people have it great. I don't see what the big deal is, you know. Like, I wish I was gay sometimes. I mean, why did I have to be born straight? It's a curse. But I'd make a terrible gay person. I can't even brush the back of my tongue without gagging. It wouldn't go well. But I mean, being gay, like, they got it made. They got like a spectacular fashion sense, tons of anal sex. It's like being a rapper. But also, one thing you'll never hear in a gay relationship: don't worry, I'm on birth control. Got tricked by that one before. I have 3 kids, guys. 3 kids. Yeah, I love them to death. Parenthood is great. But it kind of put me in a spiritual crisis for a minute. I became an atheist after I realized praying I didn't get her pregnant doesn't work. I mean, no, I don't need condoms. The Lord's protecting me. Not so much. But having 3 kids, you know, a lot of people will say like, "Oh, your pull-out game's weak," or something like that. Like, no, that's a glass half empty approach. I like to think that I'm like the Lee Harvey Oswald of ejaculate. Glass half full. Parenthood is pretty cool though, you know, like just being able to influence a child that's going to grow up and influence other people. Like everything you do is going to have impact on this person, is going to stay with them. You're going to determine who this person is going to be when he grows up. And it's a big responsibility to have, you know, and like last week my son walked in on me and his mom having sex and he cried for like hours, and I was just like, oh, you know, this is great. He's gonna have all kind of sick fetishes now because of this. He's gonna like watch voyeur porn or something. Ugh. It's terrible to think about, but hey, you know, it happens. Yeah. I work a day job that I hate. How many of you guys work day jobs that you hate? Yeah, they suck. I've been looking for another field of work that I might enjoy. So I looked into costumed vigilantism. And it was pretty interesting. I was trying to find a good name for myself. So I did my Googles on how to come up with a good name. And they say, you know, you have to come up with like a color and something intimidating to people, something that strikes fear into people, like the Green Goblin or the Red Devil or something. And I gotta tell you guys, my first night out as the Purple Prison Rape didn't go very well. Tried to stop an old lady from being mugged, and the cops shot me like 10 times. To the police's credit, though, I wasn't wearing pants, so it was part of the costume. I like to end on like a social issue. I like to talk about social issues every now and then. I became a supporter of trans rights recently. Yeah, don't woo, because I mean it's not because I'm like a great person or anything. It's just some asshole I work with was talking shit about Caitlyn Jenner. I don't want to agree with anything he says. Fuck that guy. But, You guys have been great. I'm Jay Bogus.
That was Jay Bogus, everyone. Give it up. He has 3 kids, so somebody buy him a drink. So, whew. I'm in my 30s and I got 3 kids. Oh no. You guys, all right, I'm gonna bring up your very first out-of-town comedian. He came all the way here from Atlanta and he is hilarious. So show all the love in the world for Mr. Nathan Baine.
Hey. Hey! Woo! All right, thank you very much. I want to know before I get started, by a quick show of hands, who here has had sex 5 times in one 24-year period? Who here has pulled that off? You don't have to identify yourselves. You don't have to. I'm always amazed by that. I'll tell you, I realize that I'm dating a girl now. She's a lot younger than me, and I realize that she has no idea how old I actually am. Because the other day she asked me what it was like when Nirvana was popular. I was like, well, that was about 25 years ago, so how the fuck would I know that? And she goes, well, didn't that album come out when you were in high school? Oh, how fucking old do you think I am? She goes, I don't know, like 36, 37. I go, I'm 27. She goes, oh my God, I think you look great for your age. It's like, yeah, I look great for 37. But apparently I look like dog shit for 27, so thanks for bringing that up. I haven't even been ID'd to buy beer anymore. They just go to the counter and they just look at my hairline. They're like, no, you're good. You got it. You're right. You're right. Because of this, I've come to the conclusion that I think I'm better at sex than I look. I feel like sleeping with me is like watching a really good indie film. Because you see, it looks low budget. But the performances are fantastic. That's why. It's like, I feel like the Paul Giamatti is screwing, you know, like, I don't get a lot of roles, but I'm great in everything I've been in. You know what I'm saying? Thanks. Thanks. I got some really bad news. I don't know, like, is anyone else even getting wedding invitations now? Because it's summertime, everyone's warm. Oh my gosh, guys, the fucking worst. I'm so over weddings. I'm done with it. I can't do it anymore. Fuck weddings, man. Fuck weddings. I don't buy wedding gifts anymore. My gift is me showing up to the wedding, okay? That is my gift, all right? The fact that I took time out of my day to come and do that is the gift, all right? And I wouldn't be so jaded if the last 3 weddings I went to didn't end in divorce in under 5 years. Okay? And I'm of the opinion, I'm sure someone will agree, that if you get married, get divorced in under 5 years, you should have to refund every guest who bought you a gift for their wedding, right? That should be the case. I feel like, you know, I would just feel a lot more comfortable giving a gift if I knew that your relationship and my presence were both under warranty. That's how I feel about that. It's better. I want to talk about Pop-Tarts now. You know the problem I have with Pop-Tarts? Is that Pop-Tarts taste like you're being raised by a single parent. Right? Was that a little too close to home for some of y'all? Did I open up some wounds on you right now? Now, if you think about it, though, Pop-Tarts in general, the way you prepare them is sort of like a divorce in a way. Because you see, they both come initially in one package. And then you have to open that package and you have to separate them. And when they go in the toaster, they go in different slots. And then they just get toasted in the divorce. And when they come out, one's always slightly more burnt than the other one. But only the kids can notice, is why. Oh. I think I just had made someone had to make some therapy reservations right now. Sometimes I go, oh God, oh no, that's too much. I'll tell you, my parents. I grew up in a single parent household. My parents, remember, they told me they were getting separated. It was like 1993, and they told me, and they're like, we got to think of some way to tell him without freaking him out. So we should tell him and then take him to a movie. We can go see a comedy or something like that to chill him out, you know? And so that was the idea. But the movie they took me to go see, Mrs. Doubtfire. I might say the worst thing you could use to introduce a child to the idea of what divorce is like. What was great was when I was watching the movie, I was watching it and I was like, fuck, is this what divorce is really like? And my dad was sitting right next to me with a very similar look on his face thinking, fuck, is this what divorce is really like? And after the movie was over, he said to me, he goes, hey, Nate, are you ready for this? And based off what I saw for the last 2 hours, like, motherfucker, are you ready for this? Like, you got to lead an alternative lifestyle. I just got to get used to Pop-Tarts. That's what's going to happen. You know, believe it or not, I'm sure people had dreams, what they wanted to be when they were growing up. My dream was never to be a comic or anything like that. My dream, this is true, was I wanted to be a priest growing up. Yeah, 100%. I wanted to be a priest. I was trained like till I was like 15. I got kicked out of Catholic school, though. And that dream kind of went out the window when that happened. But I still think about going back and becoming a priest. I do think about it. It's like my childhood dream. But if I did it, I would want a Michael Jordan my situation. I read about Michael Jordan. Turns out he didn't make his high school basketball team. But then he practiced really, really hard and became the greatest athlete of all time. So what I want to do is go back to college, get a theology degree, and become the Pope. I think I can do it, right? It doesn't seem that unrealistic. And I don't think it's that hard of a job, really. If you think about it, I think the hardest part of being Pope is doing laundry in the Vatican. Because you see, the Pope wears white robes, and everyone else in the Vatican wears red robes. And I know he's infallible, but you can't tell me that somewhere in the back of his closet, he doesn't have a shitload of pink robes. No, he's got that. Definitely. Speaking of that, I figured out the problem with Christian rock. It's the lyrics. I don't have a problem with any of the religious messages. Obviously, I believe, but I think it's very odd though whenever you hear a straight guy singing passionate love songs about another straight guy. That's kind of weird, isn't it? Like if your name is Jeff and your best friend's name is Bob, and you said to Bob, hey Bob, I love you, dude, and I'm gonna write a shitload of songs about how much I love you. Bob would probably say, please do not record those songs, Jeff. I would really appreciate you not doing that. Like, I don't have a problem if you want to sing a love song, but if you're gay, you want to sing a love song about a man, go ahead. Those are beautiful songs, whatever. It's about true love. I don't care. But when a straight guy sings a love song about another straight guy, sounds kind of gay, doesn't it? Like really gay. Did y'all hunt? We almost hit a deer on the way up here, crossed out in front of us. And I love animals. I'm not like a hunting guy. I don't like that at all. But I understand why you have to have hunting seasons because overpopulation and shit like that, you know. Turns out, I didn't realize this, but did you know the overpopulation from deer, that it actually causes $5 billion in property damage every year in the United States alone? That's insane. That's insane. Also, too, 130 people die in traffic accidents because of deer every year. Mind-blowing, right? That's insane. I never thought I'd hear that. And which makes me think it's like weird perspective, too, because I love deer. And I know, like, most of us, like, when you watch the movie Bambi growing up, and you see Bambi's mom get shot, it's really traumatizing and sad. You're like, oh, my God. It kind of, like, sticks with you to this day. But you have to also know that somewhere in this country, there's 130 other households that watch that movie every year, see Bambi's mom get shot, smile, turn off the movie, and say, justice. It has to happen. There's no way it doesn't. Before I get on, I want to talk about pussy. Look, I'm not a priest just yet, so like, you know, I have. Here's the problem I have with pussy. It's just the word. I don't like that word at all. I hate saying it. It really bothers me. I feel uncomfortable saying it. The problem I have with saying pussy is like I feel awkward saying it. You know, it doesn't roll off my tongue that well. Like every time I say pussy, I just assume that everyone thinks I'm a virgin. You know, like there's no way he's seen one. Listen to how he says. There's like 3 U's. He's holding the S way too long. So I can't say it. I don't say it. Instead, I say vagina, which I know is clinical and everything, but you have to do you in this world and be yourself. So that's why I say vagina, and it's worked so far, except for when I get in like sex situations, you know, that can be awkward. Like, I wouldn't say this, but sir, you might say, I want to eat your pussy. And a woman might say, I think I'd enjoy that. But I don't say pussy. I say vagina. So when I say, I'm going to eat your vagina, I no longer sound like a virgin. I sound like a cannibal. That's why. That's my one impression I do as a Hannibal Lecter. Derek, how are we going? We good? Sweet. Okay. Oh, yeah, I have a gun. I do, right? I have a gun, and it's not on me, but it's definitely in the car, so keep that in mind for the rest of the show. I don't want anyone... Guys that look like me in guns have a pretty serious track record right now. I do have a gun though, but I have a gun just because I have a reason to. I was mugged. I don't think I should be allowed to have a gun though, because I'm way too white trash to have a gun. I've gotten drunk before and fired it out the window of my car before while listening to Leonard Skinner songs. It's too white trash to have one. But I do have one, and it's because I got mugged once. I don't like to talk about it because I like to seem tough, you know. I don't want to admit that would actually happen to me. But to be honest, it happened after I left a Paramore concert, so the tough guy image went out the window when I bought the tickets, I think. So I went to the show, got really drunk, went to stay at a girl's house, and we were like, hey, let's get something to eat. It was too late to call delivery for pizza, so I checked the freezer. No frozen pizzas in the fridge, which, by the way, what kind of a fucking scumbag doesn't have frozen pizzas in the fridge, right? A real piece of shit. Real piece of shit. Real dirtbag, this girl. Anyways, don't feel sorry for her. So I was like, look, we got to rectify the situation right now. Let's go to Quick Trip. It's in Quick Trip taquitos because they're the best taquitos you'll have in your life. And she was like, yeah, let's do it. So I haul ass to Quick Trip, get set taquitos. On my way back, stop at a stop sign, go opens my car door up and whacks me over the head 2 times with the gun, knocks me out and steals all my shit. Cops came, picked me up, took me home. I had to call my dad the next day. He's a real pro-gun guy. And my dad said to me, you know, Nate, in this situation, if you had had a gun, this never would have happened. I was like, Dad, no, I don't believe that. If I had DiGiorno's, this never would have happened, ever, at all. Thanks. The best part is, though, when the cops took me home, everything in my car was stolen except for one thing. Those Quick Trip taquitos. And I'll tell you what, I got to enjoy those taquitos with that young lady. And you know what the best tasting taquito is? I'm Alive taquitos are the best taquitos you will ever eat in your goddamn life. All right. Before I go, I want to talk about, let's talk about dick pics. You want to do it? Yeah. Why not? We'll get it out of the way, right? Look, This is just me as a representative of men speaking right now to ladies. We will stop sending dick pics when they stop working, okay? It works all the time. I know because I've sent 2 dick pics before in my life, one on purpose and one on accident. I'll tell you about the one on purpose, though. There's a girl I liked when I was 15 years old. I didn't know how to tell her, and my best friend at the time said, "Yo, Nate, send a dick pic. Those totally work." And I was like, fucking A right they do, man. But this is like 10 years ago, though, and I didn't have a picture, like a camera phone, to take pictures of any dicks to send. What I did have, though, is my mom's camcorder. And I wish this wasn't true. What I did was like a video of myself naked with a boner playing bass guitar, and I mailed it to her. Strange piece of parcel. Odd conversation asking how many stamps it takes to send that, too. She sent the tape back, though. It didn't work out the way I thought it was going to. Fast forward 10 years later, I'm at a house party. This girl, same girl's there at the party, and she approaches me at the tape. And I was like, fuck. I was really charming this night, though. And it turns out I went downstairs in the basement and I had sex with that girl. 10 years later, I sent that tape. Right? And that, Savannah, is what I call the slow play. Now, here's the best part about this, is that when she sent the tape back, I lost the tape. And I was leaving home with my mom at the time, and I lost that tape. And my mom hasn't moved either. And I can't tell you how many fever dreams I have that one day my mom is going to watch an old Christmas video and instead just pop on a tape of her 15-year-old son naked with a fully erect penis playing When I Come Around by Green Day on bass guitar. She's going to find it. It doesn't stop when you're young, though. It doesn't stop when you're old. It keeps going when you get older. I have a next-door neighbor, and the guy, he's a singer. He used to sing in an R&B group, and he asked me if I want to come over and listen to his demo record one day. Brings me in. He starts playing the thing for me. It's a demo track. It has 3 songs on it called Robes, Rubbers, and Cognac. Yeah, those are the song titles. The whole demo is called The Recipe of Love. And he started to play his music for me, and he was singing the songs to me. Like one hand on his ear, and the other hand on his heart, like he was trying to feel the beat of seduction kind of thing. And while he was singing this, I was thinking, oh, fuck, is he hitting on me? Like, is this his version of singing a videotape himself with a boner playing bass guitar to, like, get me into bed or something? Is this what's happening right now? And what freaked me out, too, is I was thinking, like, what happens if I run into him 10 years from now at a party? Like, I don't know how I'm going to react. Because, like, if there's anything I've learned over time, it's that no one can resist the slow play at all. It's great. I was getting the fuck out of here there before he went. He was like, hey, Nate, one more thing before you go. Do you like Green Day? I was like, stop right there. All right, guys, I'm Nathan Baine. Thanks.
That was Nathan Baine, everyone. Give it up. I like that. This whole crowd can't resist the slow play. Oh, I was wrong. This crowd wants it right now. You guys are bringing up your first headliner. He is so hilarious and a very, very good comedian. Give it up for Mr. Mo Arora.
Thank you, guys. Thank you all for being here. How have you enjoyed the show so far? You having a good time? All right. How about a hand for Derek? Yeah? How about a hand for all the comedians you've been seeing? How about a hand for the wormhole? There you go. I don't have any jokes, guys. I'm just here to get you to clap for like 30 minutes. So get your hands warmed up. It's going to be good. What's up? It's nice to be in a room that has never been lit for someone with my complexion. That's nice. It makes me feel welcome. This is great. I've been at the beach all week. It's nice. It's been fun. Why? I know. I'm getting to it. All right. So here's the thing. The beach, that's nice, right? I'm not nice at the beach though. I'm a very hairy guy. We're not very welcome at the beach. Here's how hairy I am. I went to Florida and I did shows there, and they have billboards in Florida along the highway, talking about like creationism and stuff like that. And then somebody came up to me and was like, "Hey, I have an idea. I want to put a billboard right next to that one, and it's just a picture of me with my shirt off." So I can hold a banana and they're like, Harambe? That's how hairy I am, you know? But, so I go to the beach and it's like, it took me a while to like get over my self-consciousness. I go in the water and then fish kept running into me in the water until somebody next to me was like, oh man, it's the hair. They think you're algae. I'm like, oh. You know what that's like? To go in the water and be mistaken for a reef? That's like, it's tough. It's all right though. So I'm here from Atlanta, but I'm not originally from Atlanta. I moved there a few years ago. I'm actually Canadian. So yeah, thank you. You guys are very welcoming. I appreciate that. Yeah. So here's the thing about that though. So that makes me an immigrant, but it's confusing because I'm not the immigrant that I look like I am. To like everybody I've ever met, you know? Every day for the past 3 years, I meet somebody, we get along. They're like, hey, so where are you from? And I say Canada. They're like, that's not what I meant. I meant more like, you know? They don't want to know where I'm from. They just want to know where my skin is from, you know? But even other immigrants would get confused, though. Because there was a while when I was getting my green card. I spent a lot of time in waiting rooms. And, ma'am, I feel like you know what I'm talking about. Okay, that's great. So there you go. Now you know that I'm telling the truth, guys. We've established trust. So it's excellent. So, yeah, I was sitting around in the waiting room talking to other people there. And every single one of them had really dramatic stories for how they came to America. A lot of refugees. I met a guy who was a political prisoner who escaped that prison and managed to make it here. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. And then the conversation would come around to me like, how about you, Mo? How'd you come to America? And I'd just be like, Delta? It was a direct flight. I live in the same time zone I grew up in. Guys, immigrating's not that bad. Come on. And now I live in Atlanta, which is a cool city. It's I think Atlanta's actually the best city for a Canadian to move to because just by learning all the street names, I've learned so much black history that I didn't already know. Because I always thought I knew black history. Growing up, like, you know, we hear about Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Rosa Parks. I knew all the greatest hits. I just didn't know the deep cuts, right? And now it's like all there, right? It's cool because like in Canada, we don't have Black History Month when I was a kid, right? But we have American television, so I knew when it was Black History Month. And once I asked my teacher, hey, how come we're not studying Black history this month? And she explained to me how Black History Month is kind of an American thing because American history includes slavery and the civil rights movement and a lot of stuff that didn't really happen in Canada. And I'm like, all right, so it didn't happen up here, but just because of that, that means we don't even need to acknowledge Black history? And she was like, yeah, exactly. Pretty convenient, eh? Yeah. Now, if you'll turn in your textbook to the chapter on Wayne Gretzky, we'll continue your Canadian education. It was as easy as that. Yeah, Atlanta, moving to Atlanta was, it's weird. People, you know, they talk about how bad the traffic is in Atlanta, and I've lived in a few cities that had traffic problems, like the kind of cities where like the traffic is so bad that when people talk about it, it almost sounds like they're bragging. And Atlanta's like at the top of that list. And my Atlanta traffic story is, I was in Atlanta once. I was on the highway. It was like the highway going through the city, a little bit after morning hour rush hour. So it wasn't exactly rush hour, but it was pretty busy. And I heard sirens behind me, and I looked in my mirror and I saw there was a cop car responding to a call. And so obviously, we all know what we're supposed to do in that situation. We pull over and let the cop go, right? Which would have meant, in this case, 5 highway lanes of traffic condensing into 4. But Atlanta is a city where no one ever lets anyone else in. So this whole time, I'm watching this like not happening in front of me, looking in the mirror and see the cop like ready to just get on with it. And then after a little while, he just turned off his sirens and gave up. Fuck it, they got away. Who cares? That's it. Let's go to Krispy Kreme or whatever, man. But moving there put me in a weird position. It was weird being in a position of having to, like I had to make friends again for the first time in a while. And when I moved to Atlanta, and it's like, I guess I've gotten rusty since kindergarten, right? A lot of those skills haven't transferred into my adult life, and it was tough, right? I was nervous, and I got good advice. I was told to just find people that you find out that you have something in common, and then just talk to them about that thing. And then if they're cool and you get along, you'll have fun talking about that thing, right? And so I'm like, all right, cool. Well, Atlanta's a city full of hip-hop fans. I love hip-hop. But the problem is nobody wants to talk to me about hip-hop. Because every time I try, I would manage to screw it up and make everyone uncomfortable. There was one time I saw 2 guys who were talking. They were actually having a debate. They were arguing. Who is the better rapper, Biggie or Tupac? And I love both of those guys, so I had so much to say. But then when I joined the conversation, I made the mistake of leading with, hey guys, you ever notice that Biggie sounded as fat as he was? Right? You can hear it in your mind right now, can't you? Right? You can hear it, right? You could play Biggie for somebody who had never heard of him and then tell that person that he died young, and they would just think, oh, cholesterol. No. But anyway, I think Biggie was a better rapper than Tupac because Biggie was able to rap with food in his mouth. So I think that counts. I think it's got to count for something. So the reason why I moved to this fine country was because of a lady. I met one of your women. Guess what? They're pretty good. America's got some of the best women around, I gotta say. And I found one. And we fell in love, and I followed her to Atlanta, and we got married last year. And I gotta say, the best part about being married is that we're finally finished being engaged. Yeah. Because, being engaged, planning my wedding is the most stressful thing I have ever had to watch someone else do. Yeah. That's how stressful it was, just seeing everyone else around me. It's like, I'm tired. I gotta take a nap. This is too much. Because here's why. So my family is from India, which I bet some of you were still wondering from before, right? You were first to laugh, so you're the most honest. Good for you, man. Thank you. So my family is from India, and my wife and her family are from East Tennessee. So imagine those two families meeting and trying to plan a wedding and trying not to make fun of each other's accents. It was ridiculous. They sounded like two rival clown gangs having a honk off. It was like, just ridiculous. And I'm watching them. We were trying to plan a half Indian, half Southern wedding, which I realize is impossible. We don't have the technology or the imagination to manage that yet. They couldn't even agree on how to start the wedding. One side of the conversation is like, we'll get here like 4 in the afternoon. The bride will walk down the aisle. We'll have a wedding. And the other side's like, no, fuck that. We're gonna get here at 8 in the morning. We're gonna dance like we're trying to have a heart attack. And then just as we're about to faint, the groom is gonna ride in on an elephant. God, can you imagine how big that wedding would have been? Because here's the thing, Indian people clearly love big, elaborate weddings. But where my wife is from, that little pocket of East Tennessee, I think is the cradle of #blessed. So, yeah, there were like expectations, you know? And like, it's just that Bollywood, Dollywood mashup wedding, you would have been able to see that from space. It's crazy. So, luckily, cooler heads prevailed, and my wife had a traditional Southern wedding that my wife had always dreamed of having once she joined Pinterest like a couple years ago. Yeah. There's a lot of mason jars and old wood. I got splinters at my own wedding. In our wedding photos, her dress is covered in my bloody handprints. It's like, God, it's gross. No, it was, including my own, I've now been to 6 Southern weddings, and every single one of those weddings took place at the foundry or the quarry or the old mill or and it's like, I think it's just that every Southern bride wants to get married where her great-grandfather worked. I think that's the goal. Wedding was good. Wedding night was, I was a little bit disappointed. We didn't have sex on our wedding night, my wife and I. And at first I was like, I didn't get it done. But apparently it's actually really common. A lot of times at the end of the night, the couple's just relieved that it's over, so they're just tired, they just go to bed. I discovered another reason why it doesn't happen, because it's really difficult to get excited to have sex when it's encouraged by your parents. That almost takes the fun out of it, you know? Like, it was like, I went my whole life pretending like I didn't even know what sex was. And then all of a sudden I say I do, and it's just like, hey, you got a big night ahead of you. Hey, save some of that energy for the hotel room. Hey, do you know where the G-spot is? Yeah, Mom, I think I got it. Oh, it's gross. To find out how important your sex life is to your parents, it's like, it's almost not even worth it. You know? It's like, this is my new form of rebellion. No, it's not. Trust me, I caved in pretty quickly. That was a hard battle to maintain, but But yeah, so now I'm part of I have a Southern family now. I'm part of a Southern family, which is great. I love it. I love, I love my family. I love whenever we go visit them in Tennessee. Usually it's on the weekend, and then before we leave back for Atlanta on Sunday morning, we'll go to church together, and it's nice. It's nice. We get to do it like a family, right? And that's not my church, so it's like I'm in this weird spot where I get a certain kind of attention. People like bend over backwards to make me feel welcome, and it just makes me feel a little bit creeped out. And the reason why is two reasons. The first reason is because of who it is. The guys who do it are like the youth leaders. That's their job at the church. So like their job is just to like organize activities and keep the teenagers busy and prevent them from having sex. That's all. Like that's their professional cock blocks. You know, that's their job. They write that out on a tax form. It's just like, you know. And I'm like, I don't want these guys. I don't want these guys paying attention to me. Hey, I got a ring. It's fine now, buddy. It's cool. It counts. But the other part is the reason why I get why they give me this attention. It's because to them, I'm like a prized convert. You know what I mean? Like I'm like the ultimate I'm like a Moby Dick of converts to them. Like they can't wait to tell stories about how I once caught one this brown. Like they can't wait. Like no, I am not going to be on your mantle. All right, I'm not. But having a Southern wife means you have a lot of decorative pillows in your home. I've learned that. And it's so many. It's so like, if I were to offer you a seat in my home, you'd have to pick up a decorative pillow and then find a place to put it and then displace another decorative pillow, you know? Like I live in one of those puzzles where you can only move one tile at a time. That's my home. It's like I have to solve a riddle just to get into bed at night. And it makes me furious. And like, here's the thing, my problem isn't with pillows. Pillows are fine. If my house was an opium den, I could just fall backwards and be comfortable. Like, okay, it's weird, but fine. But decorative pillows are not pillows. They're like someone could have made a good-looking pillow, but instead they took a burlap sack and stuffed it with blood diamonds. And that's what it feels like. That's what it costs. So don't tell me any differently. And I got these things all in my house, and it makes me furious. And one time I got fed up, and I took them all, and I put them in my car, and I drove them to Goodwill, and they rejected them. They said, no, sir, we don't want these. I'm like, oh, don't worry. She won't know that I did this. And you're like, no. It's not that. It's just that, to be honest, giving someone an uncomfortable pillow is not really an act of goodwill. That's not that nice, you know? Like, hey, man, you look down on your luck. How about you scratch your face on this? Like, what does that do? All right, you guys love your pillows. I got it. I will disrespect the hell out of them if you ever let me in your home. I will be very courteous, keep my shoes off, take them off, put them on, whatever you want. Use coasters, but when you're not looking, I am just gonna fart all into those pillows. I'm just gonna wipe my ass with your decorative pillows. Dude, put them away. Put them away and I'll be your perfect house guest. But leave them out and I'm like, ooh. It's trouble. It's trouble. I just joined Snapchat recently, which means it's probably no longer cool to be on Snapchat. I think I ruined it. That's how it works. I've reached that age now. I'm in my 30s. I've reached that age where if I do something online, that means it's like, all right, it's the end of an era, right? I've been feeling well because I married a woman 9 years younger than me. And you're welcome to feel however you do about that, but I gotta say, I really love it. It's like my favorite thing about her, you know? Like when you get married, when a guy gets married, there's always someone there to ask, hey, are you sure you're ready to commit to one woman for the rest of your life? I'm like, well, it's a lot easier if she's always gonna be 9 years younger than me, so it's good. But it's a strange time in history for that age difference because there are times she shows me stuff on my phone, and it feels like when I taught my grandma how to use the remote. Like it's really humiliating. She's trying to get me to pay attention to words I don't even know what she's saying. And I'm just like, wow, what will they think of next? Hey, focus. It's like, but here's the thing. The other side of that, though, makes me feel a little bit better. See, I'm 33, she's 24. And that means there are times that I have to remind myself that medically speaking, her brain is still developing. Like... Can you imagine what it's like to have that hurdle in your marriage where like there are times where I'm like, why can't you be more reasonable? Oh yeah, because that lobe isn't finished. Give her a minute, she'll get there. We're making history, the two of us, that's the way I see it. I don't know, man. When you get into your 30s, now I'm starting to feel like when you're young, there's a lot of things that I just assumed that I would be better at when I'm older, and now every day I'm getting older, and it's like, nope, this is as good as I do that. That's it. And it's really humbling. So now, like, I look for really weird things to brag about just to make myself feel good. Desperate. Like, the best two I can come up with are, one, I'm really good. I'm the best at peeling clementines, a fruit that people only eat for like a week out of the year. And the other is, I was out at a friend's house. I asked for a glass of water. He's like, yeah, I got a Brita, but I don't have any ice. I'm like, don't worry about me. I drink water at any temperature. That's the best I got. All right, that's not funny. That's not funny. That's all right. That's okay. It's true. That's the thing that I'm the most proud of right now. It's just not good enough for someone to pay me to say it, I guess. Thank you. That's good information, guys. You guys are like awesome. You guys are with me for everything that I think we can agree is pretty good. And then when I finally try to float some bullshit by you, you're just like, no. That's good. That's a good audience. Give yourselves a round of applause for that, all of you. Like, try to sneak a change up past you with 2 strikes. You're like, fuck you. God. I like that. That's a good audience. I like that. Oh, man. Yeah, I started exercising recently, and it's going pretty well. I gotta say, I hit a milestone. I've now gone 6 years in a row with a joke about how I started exercising recently. Yeah, it's not going well. I've reached a point now. I don't lift any weights. I don't run any distance. I just do what's called body weight exercises, which is a nice way of saying that just moving myself is enough of a challenge. Mo, your workout for the day is get up, go outside once. Come on, look at you. That's your workout. Look at you. God, that's a work. I don't know. I go to the park near my house to do it, and I do a lot of, it's all like push-ups and pull-ups and, stuff like that. And I'm trying to work my way up to pull-ups. I'm not strong enough to do them yet, so I bring a step ladder with me, and I kind of cheat my way up. And it's kind of embarrassing to work out with a step ladder. It's really embarrassing just walking around my neighborhood with only a step ladder. That's a weird look. Nobody knows what to make of that guy. Everybody looks at him because I don't have a toolbox. I don't have any paint cans. I don't have any reason to have a stepladder, right? I look like I'm looking for a backyard wrestling match to break out, maybe. It's embarrassing. It's shameful, man. It's my walk of shame. Me and my scarlet ladder, Guys, I gotta tell you. This week I did 3 shows in South Carolina, and I think of those 3 shows combined, not as many people laughed at that joke as you guys just did. I've been talking to South Carolinians. They don't feel very good about themselves. The one thing that they have going for them is that they're not Floridians. That's what they told me. That's what they said. It was just like, you know what? At least we got that. 49 out of 50 and everything is okay. But you guys laughed at that joke. That's awesome. I mean, it's Savannah. People write books here. Of course they read them, right? So, yeah. So, anyway, so I'm Canadian, which means I'm doing some new things for the first time in my life just by living here. I'm paying for healthcare for the first time in my life. That was a real miscalculation on my part. I was like, I've gone from paying Groupon to retail. Like, that's what it is. And it's tough. Like, the first time I went to see a doctor in the U.S., it was actually an emergency, so I was, like, especially nervous and amped up about it. When I was telling the nurse what was wrong, she interrupted me to ask me for my credit card, and I'm like, oh, can you add a heart attack on top of all this now? And if I'm honest, like, if it was a heart attack or one of those things where it's, like, really dire, every second counted, then she wouldn't have done that. It would have been more like, quick, credit card. So, they're professionals. I'm just saying, look, okay, I'm new here. I'm still figuring out a lot of stuff. I don't know anything about Obamacare, but in my opinion, it would be nice if somebody cared. Is that too much to ask of my healthcare provider? Like somebody who wants me to live, even nominally, But it's different. This is a different place for me, guys, and I realize I'm the one that's different. So everything I'm talking, none of it is like judgment or opinion. It's mostly me being uninformed and trying to figure it out as I go along. And I say that because the next thing I want to talk to you about is guns. And and I'm not here to take them away from you. I figure if I try, you'll probably shoot me, and that's the thing that I really don't want. So this is just me thinking out loud, and by your reaction, I'll figure out if I'm on the right track, right? So I'm from Canada where we don't have as many guns, right? But I also now I'm a homeowner, I'm married, I have people to take care of. Like, I understand why you might want one, right? Problem is, my experience from what I've seen, a lot of the responsible, law-abiding gun owners that I see, I feel like they're ruining it for the rest of you. Like, there's a few of them that are just like, there's a few Paul Blarts just running around, just being, it's awful. So first time I saw a guy like that, I was at a pool. It was like a public pool, and there was a shift change, and one of the lifeguards was late showing up to work. And he was like kind of scrambling, and he didn't even have his swim trunks. He forgot them. He was just going to be in shorts the whole day. And the reason why he was late, because earlier that day he had gotten his permit or his license or whatever you get, and he had gotten a gun, and he had his gun with him. And it made me nervous because this guy was a bumbling fucking idiot, right? His boss was like, "Put that thing away. What's wrong with you?" And I'm just getting all uptight. And it's like, this guy has a license for a gun. This guy is responsible. This guy who forgot his swim trunks to his job as a lifeguard is a And that kind of soured me on the whole idea, right? And again, I have friends that have guns. I have family members now that have guns. I've shot a couple times. I get it, right? But that one guy, he was just like I was judging everybody against him, and I had to have my friends sort of like explaining to me how I didn't need to. So like the next time I was out with a friend of mine and I saw a guy just exercising his Second Amendment right, I got nervous and scared and kind of upset, and my friend had to kind of talk me through it and had to explain to me how I didn't need to be weird just because I see a guy walking around with a gun. And I'm like, all right, everything you just said is fine. If I'm not going to be weird when I see a guy with a gun, is it only fair then that I ask that people not be weird when they see me walking around with just a stepladder? Is that fair? Let's be consistent here, right? I see on a couple of your faces are like proud gun owners who did not want to agree with anything I said, but then you're like, that latter point's kind of a good one. All right. So that's good. We're compromising. We're meeting in the middle. I like that. But how do you guys feel about this election? So excited, right? Yeah. I'm excited for it to be over, I'll be honest. That's all. And I'm not on either side. I'm one way or the other. It's like, with Hillary, Hillary, here's the thing with Hillary. It's like it's crazy. Like, you had Bernie Sanders come in there, and he was all like, we're going to change the status quo, and people were like, yeah! And then Donald Trump's like, no, we're really going to fuck shit up. And everyone's like, no, let's go back to the status quo. And that's why if Hillary wins, it'll be because of that, right? And like the way I see it, once Jeb dropped out, it became clear to me, oh, Hillary is the only Bush in this election, That's how I saw it. And then with Trump, look, man, I get he's honest. He says how he really feels. He says what a lot of people are thinking. Like, look, it means something, right? But the problem that I have with Trump, honestly, is he's talked a lot of shit about Muslim people, and I'm not even Muslim, but I'm easily mistaken for one. So I'm just anticipating what it's going to be like for me from now on, because I feel like a lot of the people that would, like, if ever I'm in a situation where I have to like prove to someone that I'm not Muslim, I don't think they would know the difference between Muslims and whatever the hell I tell them I am. The only like definitive, foolproof way that I could convince somebody on the spot that I'm not Muslim is that Muslims circumcise their baby boys, and we don't cut off the best part. And I call it the best part because it's gonna keep me out of jail one day, Like, there's gonna come a time, come November, I'm gonna have to show my dick at the airport, I'm gonna go through security with my dick resting on my green card, be like, everything looks good here. You think you can see that? This is my Nexus pass right here, right? Like, oh yeah, take a look, check it out. It's like, I'm just saying, if you call me a towel head, I'm gonna have to show you my towel head, and nobody wants that, right? All right. Well, thank you for letting me get through that impolite conversation. I think we all got through it together. So now let's move on to something more pleasant. I just want to talk about fucking for the rest of the time up here. Well, because sex has been redefined for me. Now that I'm married, like, it's as important as it ever was, but it's like for entirely different reasons now. I live in a transitioning neighborhood of Atlanta. Like, we can imagine what that means, right? It's gentrifying, a bunch of people moving in. Like, to put it in perspective, Evander Holyfield is from my neighborhood, but now I live there, so we're probably done making Evander Holyfields, I think. Right? We've gone from champion boxers to guy who needs a stepladder to do a pull-up. Like, it's a different demographic than it ever used to be, And one of the things that happens with all these people that are moving in into my neighborhood, they all seem to want to paint their houses gray. Like 60% of my neighborhood is gray now. And it's like, it reminds me of that movie Pleasantville, right? You guys remember Pleasantville? Anybody seen that movie? Yeah, so for those of you who haven't, Pleasantville is a movie that takes place in a very idyllic neighborhood. It's all in black and white, except one by one, people turn into color once they come really hard. That's not a joke, that's the movie. I'm telling you, that's the description on the poster. That was a PG-13 movie, and it's just like, people just nut their faces off, and it's like, shit gets wild. That's Pleasantville, right? And when I saw that movie, I thought it was a metaphor, but now it's like a condition creeping in down my street, you know? I have a green house, and it's really important that I keep it that way. So when I have sex, I'm not just having sex because it's fun. I'm having sex to like put the color back into my wife's life, you know? Right? Like when I say my name, she has to say Roy G. Biv, or I gotta keep doing it, you know? I'm not done yet. And I started realizing that at about a month after we got married, we went to go see 50 Shades of Grey at the movie theater. And that was the strangest experience of my life, watching that movie. So that movie was bad. Everybody in the theater thought it was bad. They were like mocking it in the theater. It looked and sounded like people hated that movie. But there were times when it smelled like people loved that movie. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know, you get like, it wasn't even an Atlanta suburb anymore. It felt like a Cambodian rainforest. It was like I had a pack of Sour Patch Kids. I couldn't even taste them. Can you imagine? Can you imagine how gross that is? I was $5.75. I'm never getting back. It was like, wow. Wow, this is important, this shit. You gotta make it right so that it doesn't, you know, and it's tough though. It's tough for me because I do this, right? So at best, I'm out at night. At worst, I'm traveling. She works regular daytime hours. We don't often get a lot of quality time together. Maybe only an hour a night, and it's hard to both be in the mood at the same time or have the same energy at the same time. So we've basically become like on-demand services for each other. It's just like, hey, I got a problem, fix it, you know? And we're both happy to do it, and it had the best unintended consequence for me. Suddenly, in my 30s, I've gotten really good at fingering. Yeah, remember when I said earlier I was searching for things to feel proud about? This is number one on my list now. It's like, it's weird how it happened too, because it's like all it is just from like, so it's like, you know, imagine like, you know, when I was younger, and I should have been learning how to do it, I would go to my friends' houses and I'd play their video games. And I was there often, so I got pretty good. But like thank you very much. How about a hand for this gentleman over here? And the mic stayed on the whole time too, which is great. So I got pretty good playing my friends' video games, but like they're at home. It's their game, it's their controller. Like now I feel like I have my own controller, you know? Like I can figure out just how sensitive the joystick is and stuff like that, and all the buttons. It's like I know all the cheat codes now, you know? Even sometimes I want to go out, like I have to go to a show, and she's like, oh, I had a hard day. I was hoping we could, you know, I could just be like up, down, left, right, B, A, start, and I'm out of there. It's perfect. Oh. I started thinking about all this in the last couple of years because, especially the part about me getting older and no longer being young. Here's when I gave up on the idea that I was young, is when I realized that I had been masturbating for 20 years. That's a pretty definitive milestone that you're no longer in your youth, you know? Like that's a Hall of Fame career, right? And I haven't missed a day. I'm like Cal Ripken. I mean, I've been on the road lately, so like today was a doubleheader. I mean, it's just weird to think that like for the longest time, like that's still the thing that I'm the best at. That's my most developed skill. You know what I mean? Like I feel like here's what I want in this election. I want to vote for someone who tells me that we're going to set up assembly lines where all the machines are powered by this motion. That's someone you can believe in, right? Just 9 to 5, 8 hours a day. A car. It's the new Ford Friction. Buy yours today. I don't know. But yeah, it's been a good education, these 20 years of masturbating. I started before the internet. That's how. Yeah. So in Canada, the rules are a little bit different. They're actually allowed to show nudity on network television. So I would like discover. I figured out which channels played a lot of stuff like that. There's one channel that played a lot of like foreign films, like exotic kind of art house, kind of artsy movies. Those movies were full of sex, but they're also really dark. So I saw a lot of people having sex, and none of them seemed like they were too happy about it. It was really kind of confusing. I'm like, man, why? People have sex for very different reasons in Eastern Europe, let me tell you. Mostly just to forget that they're in Eastern Europe, I think. But that affected me, because I didn't understand what I was watching. I was 11. I was 11 when I first woke up with a grown-up penis. Like, it was like, man, you want to talk about dangerous. I mean, I was 11. Like, part of me just still wanted to play with my toys. And another part of me just wanted to, like, fuck my toys. Like, it's a confusing age. So you're watching these movies, you're like, what is going on, right? But then as I got older, I was a teenager, I was in high school, I finally had a girlfriend say, like, hey, Mo, I think I'm ready. I think we should have sex. And I wasn't happy about it. I was like, oh, no, what's wrong? Did your favorite art teacher die? She's like, no, what are you talking about? I like you, I trust you, I think it will be fun. I'm like, I don't think so. People don't have sex because it's fun, all right? She's like, all right, you're an expert, why do people have sex? I'm like, man, most of it's just a commentary on World War II. So, yeah. If you ever want to learn about ennui, we can do that on Friday night if you want. So you're right, I didn't need that line either. There you go. It's awesome. Fucking fantastic. You guys are the best. All right, guys. I gotta get out pretty soon. Right, Derek? Am I good? Or yeah. All right. So I'm gonna get out on this. So being married, being in my 30s, I'm very suddenly in the family planning stage of my life, and it's kind of snuck up on me, and I kind of want to put it off as long as possible. So I decided that I wish that men could start taking birth control. Like, I'm willing to do it, because right now my only birth control is watching my wife take her birth control. Right? Like, every night at 10 o'clock, an alarm goes off on her phone. I'm like, all right, babe, let's see you swallow. But, like, at the beginning, it's weird. No. So, I don't know. And part of it, too, is because she's like, I married somebody who has a hard time swallowing pills, so it's always a big production. It's always like, give me a glass of water. I'm like, come on. I'm like, come on, some of those are just sugar. You can't eat candy? Give me the candy. I'll eat it. I don't know, but I don't actually want to take a pill. I'm hoping that science comes through with a solution that doesn't require pills. I read about a temporary vasectomy that you can get. It's like a light switch you can just flip when you're ready to start a family. That's pretty good. I want to go even further, because I think being for a man, being sexually responsible mostly just means paying attention to where it goes. Right? You're just trying to stem the tide. Like, just notice it. Like, just care, right? So what if we could just do away with that altogether? What if instead I could just turn my dick into a vaporizer? Just right? Right? No babies, no mess. Maybe I piss a few people off at the movies, but that's about it. And even then, there's gonna be somebody in the row behind me to be like, that's nice. What is that, pineapple? Guys, this is awesome. There's a whole great show left, but I've had the time of my life. Thank you all so much. Make a lot of noise for Derek Marshall. Thank you very much, Savannah. Have a good night.
That was Mo Arora, everyone. Give it up. God, that is hilarious. I did not see the vaporizer thing coming. You guys, we have 2 more comedians left for you guys. How do you feel? Okay, you guys can make a little bit more noise. How do you guys feel? I'm going to keep it going with this next guy. He is very funny. Came down from Atlanta also. He hasn't been back here in a bit. That's why I'm so excited for you guys to see him. Give it up for Mr. Travis Jones.
Thank you. I got fans in the audience and shit. Guys, this show's really big for me. When I first started comedy, I set some goals for myself that I wanted to accomplish, and one of them was to perform in a guitar center. And I made it. Finally doing it. I think this counts. What do they think we're gonna do? Why is this off limits? Why can I not go in here? No, I did. I asked for this set dressing because I'm aware that I look like an adult Weezer fan. I'm just playing to my persona, you know what I'm saying? For those of you who don't get that reference, Weezer was a band from the 90s that was like if a Trapper Keeper could be a band. Does that make sense? Like if there was a Disney Channel original movie and someone left a Trapper Keeper like on one of these amps and then there was an electrical storm and it turned into a band, it would have been Weezer. So I'm glad we established that. I work in an office, surprise. Does anyone here work in an office? More excited than people usually are when I ask that question. Yeah, office life. Yeah, weird pride. I work in an office, corporate type environment. I've done it for a while. I don't do it because I like it. I do it because it's very easy to skate by in a corporate environment. You don't really have to do work. There's two things you need to survive. The first one is to be white. Kind of helps a whole lot. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a lot of white people. I work with a lot of whites, mostly white people. I don't know the scientific terminology, but I think it's a murder of white people. Work with a murder of white people. The second thing that you need to do to survive in the corporate world is to use the lingo. If you use the lingo, you can get out of any situation. You don't have to do the work, right? I like to play this fun game before I go to work where I see if I can smoke all of the weed. And sometimes I do it, and I'm not good at my job. And someone will come at me with one of those, Travis, what's going on with you today? But I don't panic. I just use the lingo. I go, what? Me? Oh, I just got the worst case of the Mondays, wink. And people run out of their office to high-five me. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool thing we got going on. It works in any situation. If someone's like, hey, where's those projects you've been working on? You don't have to do the projects. Just shoot them some of that lingo. Just be like, what the project? Oh, I'm sorry. Do you mean those deliverables? Yeah. I figure we'll put a pin in that, circle back when we can address the pain points. Look, we can't boil the ocean. We're going to take this thing up to 10,000 feet. We're going to peel back the layers of the onion. We're going to think outside of the box. We're going to create synergy. We might need to expand our bandwidth because teamwork makes the dream work. We're going to dive in, but we're going to keep it on our radar. We're going to create that ROI. We're going to find the KPIs. And at the end of the day, TGIF. And a lot of people don't know this, but I found this out. If you say those words in that order, they'll just give you the company. I'm like, cool, I found the password. I own a corporate company now. Pretty cool. Quick question, what do we do here? They're like, honestly, no one knows, but we make so much money. And at the mention of money, all of the white dudes you work with will get real excited and start sniffing around like a dog outside of a Pizza Hut, just like, money, ooh, I like money. And then they'll get very excited, and their penises will get engorged, and they'll unbutton their pants, and they'll rub them together until they all ejaculate at the exact same time. And that's how you make a 401k. Yeah. Did you guys know that? Did you guys know that? You do now. You learned something. I was just in Vancouver, not the city. I used to be Justin Vancouver, notorious stand-up comedian. You might have seen me in the Catskills just working my stuff out like, I believe in men's rights and men's lefts. What are you gonna be, half a dude? Justin Vancouver. But I don't do that anymore. I can't tell if someone booed or they just went, oh. Either way, I'll take it. Pretty good reaction. I grew up in Atlanta, right in the middle of Atlanta. I went to Grady High School, and Grady High School has a slogan. Did anyone have like a slogan for their high school or college? Something you'd like yell at football games or pep rallies or something like that? Anyone want to volunteer what theirs was? No? No one had one? That's fine. We had one at Grady. We were the Grady Gray Knights, so our initials were GK. And at every football game, we would yell so passionately, GK, GK, we all we got. We would yell, GK, GK, we all we got. And looking back, that's the saddest slogan anyone could ever yell. We all we got. If you said that out of context, like you're just showing up trying to create mischief with your boys, and you're like, what's up, man? We all we got. You're like, is he homeless? I think they're all they have. I don't know. It's pretty bad. They should get rid of it. I don't know. Or is it the best of all time? right? Because if you're stepping out on a field of sport and someone's like, rah, rah, go team, and the other person's like, I have nothing to live for, what's scarier? I think it's number 2. It's definitely scarier. I'm from Atlanta, I'm from the South, and I realized as I've been traveling that when people learn that you're from the South, they make a bunch of like generalized assumptions about you, like how you grew up. Like a lot of people, when they learn that I'm from the South, they assume that I'm like a backwater garbage person, I think is a nice way to put the way that they feel. Just a backwater garbage person. I was in California recently, and had a guy that was driving me to a bar in an Uber, and he was really trying to sell me on one of the bars in town. He was like, oh man, you gotta go to this bar, bro. Gotta go to this bar, man. How do I describe the vibe? The vibe, it's like, well, you're from the South, right? You've probably been to like an old dirty brothel before. Sir, how dare you? Of course I've been to an old dirty brothel. I am from the South. You have been me as a true Southern gentleman. When I was 13, I took a deer out into the woods, I got baptized in a creek, and I went to the skank hole twice a week. It's just in my dirty blood. What a weird xenophobe that guy is. I'm really good at impressions. I didn't want to lead because it's like, I don't want to blow your mind up top, but I'll whip it out now. Very good at impressions. I can do an impression of pretty much any celebrity. So you guys you can yell out any celebrity and I'll do an impression of that celebrity on the spot. I heard R. Kelly. Let's see, how do we approach this? Okay. This is my impression of R. Kelly as a mechanic. Found the problem, we're gonna have to remix the ignition. What? Great impression alert. Woo, 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 woo. There is nothing like letting down a room full of people. I'll tell you that right now. Oh man. Mo was talking earlier about the early days of pornography and the internet. Back when I was a young man. Well, let me first ask you this: how many of you guys remember LimeWire? Oh, a lot of LimeWire fans. Few people holding out for the Kazaa reference, but LimeWire is where it's at with you guys. Okay. LimeWire was back in the day if you wanted to download your latest Yellow Card album or whatever you people were listening to 10 years ago, and you could download. You could also get adult movies. And the way that LimeWire would work is that you type in whatever your sexy keyword is, right? Type in your sexy keyword, and you get a wall of titles, and you pick one, and you download it for like 2 days, and you just hope it's good. Just be what you say you are. I'm ruining my dad's laptop to do this. Just please be what you say you are. Because those titles will lie to you. And I bring this up because there's a title of a video that I ran into when I was a young man that has stuck with me to this day. It was a video on LimeWire titled Young Twinks Giving Handjobs to Bears. And I didn't know what any of those words meant. But at face value, of course I'm going to download that video. Are you serious? To bears? That's not what I'm into sexually, but I will watch that. That is a conversation topper in any conversation. I had the best weekend. I saw someone giving handjobs to bears in the woods. Conversation 1 by me. And I downloaded it, and it was 2 dudes banging. So sometimes that's how you learn about vocabulary. You just really misunderstand. You're like, oh, okay, words have more than one meaning. Yeah. I'm engaged, though. I'm engaged to a woman. She's a human woman. And we just moved into a new apartment, and I found out that ever since we moved in, there's construction across the street. And she told me, she's like, by the way, when you leave and I walk the dog every day, every single day I get catcalled. And I was like, that happens every day. That's crazy. And it made me think, it's like, catcalling's a weird expression for what it is, because it sounds really cute. It's like a catcall, like, oh, you little cat, I'm gonna pet you, you're cute, you know. But what they should call it is yelling at women. Because that's what it is. It's yelling at women. Sounds a lot different if you're like, oh yeah, my friends and I, we got drunk, went to the ball game, we catcalled a little bit, oopsie. Or if you're like, yeah, my friends and I, we got drunk and we yelled at women, oopsie. It's a little bit different. But it's never happened when I'm there. It's only happened when I'm not there. And it made me realize that people that catcall are a lot like the ghost from Super Mario. They only do it when you're not looking. You know what I'm talking about? Not a lot of Nintendo people out there, but that's okay. That's totally fine. But it makes me want to just like dress up like a bush and just like hang out outside of our apartment. And then next time it happens, be like, ha-ha, there was a man here the whole time. And they'll be like, no! I'll figure out an end to that joke. I think the visual of me dressing up like a bush is pretty good, though. Ooh. I got my fiance because I'm adorable and very good at just talking to women, talking to ladies. A lot of people come up to me and they're like, Travis, how do I talk to the ladies? And it's very simple. It's pretty much just all confidence. Be confident, walk up to a woman, make direct eye contact, right? You see a lady that you like, ask her name, right? Learn her name. Try to make a joke with her name. That's something that I generally try to do. It shows that you're paying attention, right? Yeah, you're very witty. You're in the moment. You remember her name. That's an important thing. Ma'am, what's your name? I'll do this right now. Maureen. Ooh. Maureen, that's funny. I went to college for Maureen biology. Ooh. Oh, yeah. It's pretty good. It works in any situation. If you see a dude that you're into and you're a dude and you want to hit on that dude, that's fine. Just walk up confidently. Be like, what's your name? Philip? That's cool. I'd like to fill up my butt with your penis. Ooh. It works. Gay guys like to fuck, and if you don't believe me, you go on LimeWire and you type in young twinks giving handjobs to bears. You'll learn for yourself. I don't know if you can go on LimeWire and download it, but it's worth a watch. It's very educational. It's very educational. The key if you do that, though, is don't say the wrong thing and be a creepy dude. No one likes a creepy dude. I'm very anti-creepy dude. There's a specific type that I don't like that really get on my nerves. Oh, hello, there's a dog here. Hello, dog. That's great. I just got fucking heckled by a dog. Most of your punchlines need work. We get it. It really threw me off my game. Just kidding, I'm a professional. Don't be a creepy dude, right? So there's a specific kind of creepy dude I don't like. And you'll see him at like a bar or a club. First sign, the specific kind of creepy dude I'm talking about, showing off too much skin. Shirt that's way too unbuttoned, wearing like a tank top or something like that, as if to say, this is my creepy flesh, take it in. And he's always very confident. Creepy dudes, they have so much confidence. Walk up to you like, hey, what's up, I'm Randy. Like, where did you come from? And is that your name or how you're feeling? Because it's pretty hard to tell what's going on. You're rocking a shark tooth necklace, Randy. Having trouble telling what's happening. Real confident, like you're already gross best friends. Just walk up to you, be like, hey, I'm Randy. Did you see that girl over there with those legs? Oh, man, I'd like to crawl up in there and live in there. Or whatever gross shit dudes say when they're being gross. And no one wants to get stuck in that conversation. How do you get out of that at a bar? That person's used to weird vibes. Like, how do you... But I found out how to get out of a conversation with a creepy dude, and you guys can use this whenever you need to. The key is to agree with them, but do it like way too much, right? Like judo them with their own weirdness. So this is what you gotta do if someone gives you one of those, hey man, did you see that girl with those legs over there? Just be like, oh yeah. Ooh. Legs, bro? Oh, legs, bro? Ooh, I love legs, bro. Oh, do you know what I really love? Do you know what I really love? Spiders. 8 legs, bro? Ha ha! 400% a human would have. Spindly legs, spindly spider legs wrapped around my Johnson. 400% a human would have. And then they might leave. So anyways, that's my advice for media. You guys are going to really enjoy your headliner. Give it up for Derek, everybody. Thank you.
That was Travis Jones, everyone. Give it up. Jeff, good job on the reverb. Did you guys? That was stadium level acoustics about spider legs. That's cool. We have one more comedian left. Give it up for yourselves, guys. Give it up for all the comedians you've seen. Hope you're taking care, everyone at the bar. Like I said, I'm not going to run my mouth too much because this dude is hilarious. And I can't wait for you to see him. Give it up for Mr. Joseph Highsmith.
You guys can do better than that. Come on, give it up for me. God damn. Yeah. Yeah, finally sucked the right dick, y'all. Finally did it. Yeah. Let me explain. I believe that there are things that like we want really badly in life. So badly, in fact, that at some point we may have thought, I would blow it to get that thing. And for me, it was seeing the band Neutral Milk Hotel live. Does anyone here know who that is? Okay. So they were a band in the 90s. They have like one perfect album, and that was it. Like, they're just ghosts of music past, right? But I found out a couple years ago they're going on tour. They're getting back together. They're going on tour. And I'm like, all right, this is it. Gonna start getting my jaw ready, going to town on dudes till I get there, you know? And like in my head, like I knew they were gonna sell out immediately. I was not gonna get a ticket through the normal means. And like at the time I was young enough and dumb enough that the plan was to just follow the band on tour, Grateful Dead style, you know, just leaving a wake of pleasured men in my, you know, until like I finally wised up enough to get the tickets first. But like I'd learn a lot about myself in the process, you know. So it finally happened. They were coming to Atlanta, and I was like, this is it. This is my chance to shine. Went out, did it, got home, told my parents, guys, I'm going to see Neutral Milk Hotel. And my dad's like, yeah, we know. We bought you tickets. And I was like, oh, awesome. Thanks, Dad. I love you. This is awesome. This is great. And he goes, no, son. I raised you to be a man of your word. You're going to earn these tickets. Best show I've ever seen, guys. Totally worth it. Totally worth it. But here's the thing, like, if I don't know, because if that's all it took, I don't know. Maybe like I would still be in the Catholic Church. I don't know. I don't know. I like you guys already. That was a weird opener. I'm from Atlanta. I think the hardest part about growing up in Atlanta is telling your parents you're black. I'm not really black, y'all. But I am black where it counts. That's just my way of telling people that I have sickle cell anemia. It's a real epidemic. You guys ever think that like You guys ever think that there are maybe just some real nerdy Klan members who only got into it because they're real into like Birth of a Nation cosplay? You're right. That's for the film nerds out there. Boom. Terrible movie. Don't watch it. I've been told that that joke is racist. I don't believe that it is, but that isn't to say that racism doesn't pop up in weird places now. It's just got to be sneaky about it, 2016 and everything. It's got to be sneaky outside of Trump rallies. But like everywhere else, it's got to be like, am I racist or not? And for example, like have you ever played the game Words with Friends? Yeah, everybody likes to waste time at work. I get it. But the thing about Words with Friends is that there are words that exist in the real world that you cannot play for points in Words with Friends. And one of those words is Jews. You can't play the word Jews in Words with Friends. Now, I'm not saying that Words with Friends is necessarily a racist organization. But what I like to think is that maybe there was a real tech-savvy Klan member who like got a job at Words with Friends and just kind of slipped that one in there. And now anytime he's having a bad day, he just plays the word Jews. Jews is unacceptable. Damn right. Goddamn right. I just turned 30 recently. Nope. That is not something to cheer for. It's been weird. I don't know how to feel about it. I was texting a friend and I'm like, man, I hope that I finally feel like I'm hitting my stride. And my phone autocorrected to I finally feel like I'm hitting my strife. And I was like, yep, that sounds about right. But I'm trying to take better care of myself, like how I present myself to people, because I'm starting to get that thing where my hair is growing into my beard, is growing into my hair, and I just look like a homeless dandelion, like a 1970s vagina, Someone's like, yeah. I'm single, man. Yeah, it's been weird. I'll give you an example of what my life has been like so far. 30 years old. I woke up today at 1 p.m. because I had shit to do. No time to waste. And I took a BuzzFeed quiz where I matched pictures of fast food French fries to the name of the establishment from whence they came. And you guys, I got 19 out of 20 right. And I'm not sure, oh God, please don't applaud, because I'm not sure if I'm more embarrassed that I got any of them correct or that I fucking missed the one. Hardee's Carl's Jr. I would never have got that. I don't hate myself that much to fucking go in there. I feel like if I had gotten all 20 right, though, I would legally have to buy one of those little scooters that you see people riding around in Walmart. And I'd have to vote for Trump. And I'm not ready for that yet. I have been trying to take better care of myself. I started riding my bike again. And if there's one thing I learned about riding my bike in the summer in Atlanta is don't. Don't do that. Just be the piece of shit you know you are. Accept yourself. You're 30 years old. It's time you are honest for once, right? I'm the kind of guy who I can call Burger Win, which is a fine dining establishment. It's a Chinese food / wing shop that's connected to a gas station in East Atlanta. I can call them, place my order. A gas station knows, oh, Joe, yeah, see you in a minute. Terrible. But like I am trying to take better care of myself. I feel like, you know, you need to treat your body the same way that you would like a classic car. You know what I mean? Like, change the oil, do yoga, right? Carburetors, kale, you know? But at the end of the day, there's no point in owning like an old GTO if you don't sometimes take it out to a parking lot and do donuts, you know what I mean? Like, take care of it, but it's built for fun, baby, you know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with this wonder you see right here. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do a kettlebell every once in a while. But just as often, you're gonna find me in a parking lot eating donuts. You know? This is how I'm living, man. This is how I'm living. You guys, you know, at this age, like I have a lot of friends getting married or getting divorced. Having kids, you know, like one of my friends just completed a triathlon. And this past weekend, me and my roommates decided to just eat mushrooms for the day. Just letting you know. I pose a question, though. Who's the better person? I believe it's me. I believe mushrooms make you a better person. They just make you think about shit. You know what I'm saying? You ever just think about shit? Nobody? Like I want to edit. Has anybody seen Hardball with Keanu Reeves? Where he's like a baseball coach for an inner city league, you know? So I want to edit the part in Hardball where G-Baby gets shot. It's like the heart of the movie. It's like, I think that's the first time I learned about death, you know? Like I want to edit that part of the movie where he gets shot and then immediately follow it with A League of Their Own. There's no crying in baseball. Drugs make me think about shit. Like, have you ever noticed how farts are like words? You know? Never? Oh, I will. What if I didn't? I was just like, no? All right. Just play drums for the next 20 minutes. Oh, God, on the drums? Like, would you even be able to fucking tell what it was? Speaking of Freebird, though, farts. Farts are like words in that, like, they both start from within you. And then you share them with the outside world, right? You're taking a subjective experience and making it part of objective reality, something we can all really, like, sink our teeth into and discuss, you know? Like, I have had some farts that have been just as funny and poignant and moving as anything that Kurt Vonnegut ever wrote. That joke doesn't always work. People are like, Kurt who? And I have to be like, do the same thing, but just say like Fight Club, and people are like, yeah! College towns, man. I do love drugs. I started re-smoking pot recently. Yeah! And I don't mean like just finding the leftovers from my carpet, like putting that in the bowl. I mean like I quit for a little while, and then now I'm back on track. But the thing about weed is, especially if you take a break, like my tolerance is awful now. Like there's none to speak of really. Like I get too high too quickly. and it freaks me out. It's a lot like, did you ever play Mario Kart? Yeah. It's a video game for everybody who didn't woot. You play too much of it, and this is what you get. But there's a level on Mario Kart where, like, on the Rainbow Road, where you're like, oh man, I haven't played in a while, but I remember there's a part here where I can just fling myself over the bridge, and then, like, I'll just end up ahead of everybody, and it'll be cool. And that's what smoking weed's been like. I'm like, oh, right. I'll just fling myself blindly off of a ledge. And I'm like, yeah, this is as fun as I remember. Oh my God, am I gonna fall forever? Am I stuck like this? This was a terrible decision. And then you do land, and you really are miles ahead of everybody, and you can just kind of sit back and relax and think about Jurassic Park. That's what it's been like. I will say for August, I'm trying to go sober. Yeah. It's weird going sober, though, because, like, all I can have is PBR and Fireball. It's been strange. One of the things I'll never give up, though, is cocaine. Ooh-wee. Love that shit. You guys are in a port city and, like, don't care about cocaine? There we go. I figured at least the bar would be like, yeah, dude, we got you. Cocaine's weird, though, man, because, like, especially in the summertime for a dude my size, like, I need to do all of it as soon as I get it, because if I keep it in my pocket, like, my body heat, it'll just clump up into, like, a fucking giant loogie size of a crystal. I don't know. It sucks. The other thing is that, like, I'm not good at doing cocaine. I love it, but I'm not good at it. Like, I have friends who can, like, open the bag with just 2 fingers, like, real smooth, and, like, yeah, and then we get into it, and everybody's, like, jazzy and cool. I can't do that. Like, I feel like every time I have to open a new bag, it's the beginning of some really shitty infomercial where it's like, don't you hate when this happens? And then the bag explodes. Like, I turn and look at the camera, wah, wah, you know, like, there's $80 down the drain. And then, you know, like, jump cut to me dead in a sewer, you know? I wish I could be cool about it. I wish I could do the little thing, because I do a lot of cocaine. I should be able to do it by now. And it feels like if a redneck couldn't do, like, the little finger thing to open his chewing tobacco, you know? Be like, hi Gus. Hey, look, dude, you and I dipped like a whole shitload of times and everything, but you think you could do that thing for my skull? You think you could do that for me? Because I can't get it, dude. You're right, that was bullshit. Sorry. I'll work on that. Here's the thing about Coke, too, is that, like, I don't make a lot of money, right? But if people understood the percentage of what I make to what I spend on cocaine, I would be invited to be in every rapper's entourage forever. Like, it'd be like, man, that guy needs to buy a boat. Coke's not funny. It's really not. It's a problem, you guys. This is where this becomes an intervention. Did my mom pay you guys to be here? Is that what's going on? I do love drugs, though. My favorite drug, I think, is mushrooms. I knew that would get some, yeah. Everybody loves mushrooms, man. I love it. But here's the thing, is that, like, there are certain things that I can't do if I'm tripping, you know? Like, I can't fast forward through shitty commercials anymore. You know? Because the whole time I'm like, oh, this is someone's big break. Someone called their mom when they landed this general insurance gig. Who am I? Who am I? Oh God, who am I? Same with porn. Like I can't really watch the porn I want to watch if I'm tripping, you know? Because in the back of my head, I'm just like, oh, this woman getting bukkakeed is going to Thanksgiving somewhere. And like, yes, her versions of stuffing and gravy are different than mine. But at the end of the day, she's still just surrounded by people who love her. That's a good fucking joke, you guys. If you need to if you don't go to work tomorrow or Monday, go to work on Monday and look up bukkake, and then think about this joke, and I'd swear to God, you'll be like, that was a really smart joke.
Too smart.
Drugs can make me kind of sad, though, you know. I mean, I'm already kind of a sad dude, but they bring out the worst. Because, like, the only thing that's been there as long as drugs for me is, like, the idea of suicide, you know? Like, it's always been there, but it's always been, like, when I talk about suicide, it's the same way as people talk about, like, buying a boat and sailing around the world, you know? It's like, that's a cool idea, but you don't really have to worry about it until I learn how to tie knots. Because then it's a plan, you know? Come on, guys, no? Suicide is too off topic for the most haunted city in America? Okay. Trying to bring the realness to you. It's okay, I get it. People kill themselves. Anytime, though, like I get too sad, I just remember my friend who was broken up with in the parking lot of the Claremont Lounge in Atlanta. Yeah, okay, so you guys are familiar with the Claremont Lounge. It's where strippers go to die. That's what it says on their t-shirts. And a friend of mine got broken up with there, and I'm like, all right, it's not too bad. Could always be that guy. I could always be anyone who's just at the Claremont Lounge. Things are looking up. You guys, I think I'm too poor to be a dad. I take it back. I'm too poor to be a good dad, you know? Like, I can't afford anything. But, like, I also know that, like, I would just kind of purposefully fuck up my kids just to make sure that they have something to say when I'm adults, you know? Like, I think about it, I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm the kind of guy who, especially if I had, like, 2 boys, I would make them comb each other's hair every night before bed. You know? That way, when they get invited to their first sleepover, and realize that no one else does that, my career's going nowhere. I just want to make sure that they continue my dream, you know? This is the 2nd and 3rd generation comedians. Same with, like, I would never let them look me in the eye. Take it as a sign of aggression. You know what I mean? I'd be a good dad. You guys have dads? Good, cool. I had a dad. I don't anymore. He died. It's okay, you guys. The reason I know it's okay, like, I'm not a super religious person, but, like, 3 days after my father died, he appeared to me in a dream. And in the dream, he said, son, everything is going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. And at the moment, I wanted to think like, oh, this is my father reaching out from somewhere, just trying to calm me down. But there was enough details in the dream to make me think like, oh, this is just, chemicals or whatever. So for example, like Dad died of cancer, but in the dream, he was young, he had a full head of hair, like he was wearing linen pants, like one of those Cuban shirts with like pockets on both sides, and he was like tan and slightly sun-kissed, and he had like a full back tattoo, and he smelled great. And I'm just like, do I want to fuck my dad? And that's how you get thrown out of grief counseling at your mom's church. You are not welcome after that. But that's okay. I mean, church isn't really for me anymore. Like, I have the same relationship with God that I do with the music of the band The Eagles, You guys familiar with the Eagles? Yeah. Okay, cool. I was just making sure. You guys are still with me, right? You got through my dead dad joke, you can deal with the Eagles. So I have the same relationship as I do with the music of the band The Eagles because, like, I grew up with them, My parents were real into them, but they're not for me so much anymore. But if you get me drunk enough, I still remember all the words. No one else. No one else got burned by God or Glenn Frey. Cool. Man. I don't know. You guys like tattoos? I love tattoos, man. Like, if I saved a percentage of the amount of money I spent on coke and put toward tattoos, I'd be covered. I love that shit. Like right now, I've only got the 2 on my wrist and like a cute little penguin on my ankle because I'm adorable. Who has tattoos? Anybody? What's your favorite tattoo that you have? Nobody? Tramp stamp. Nice. Hell yeah. I think like I want to get a few tattoos, and the biggest one, because mine are little, I want to get like a big piece, you know what I mean? And the one that I'm saving up for is like a full back tattoo, and it's Jesus on the cross, but he's draped in a Confederate flag. And then it says, they both shall rise again. My friend's like, well, don't get that tattooed, just make it a t-shirt and sell it to idiots at like NASCAR. And I'm like, yeah, I probably should do that instead. But then the thing is like, I don't want Trump to be elected. But I know if I made that t-shirt and then he were elected, guys, I'd be a fucking millionaire. Like, I could just go to the White House and sell it from the White House. People would be like, hell yeah. Like, I don't know. He knows what I'm talking about. That dog hates black people. He's like, yeah, Trump. Make America dogs again. I don't know. I don't even know what that means. I don't know, y'all. How am I doing on time? 3? Shit, yeah. Perfect. I'm going to close out with love. Anybody in love in here? Yeah? Oh, my God, guys, that's amazing. That is the most enthusiastic answer anyone has ever given me to that question. That's awesome. That's perfect. You guys think you're better than me? Think you're better than me? Good, you are, most likely. I mean, I'm here tonight. I believe in love because I saw it in a commercial once. Like, let me set the scene for you. There's a woman tucking in her son, her young son. She says, "Mommy, when is Dad coming home?" She says, "Soon, baby." Kisses him goodnight, goes to her own room, looks at a picture of her husband longingly and says, "He's not the only one who misses you." And then she opens their drawer, pulls out one of his shirts, inhales deeply and lovingly, and underneath his shirt is a Trojan vibrator with a handwritten note that says, "I miss you too, but I hope this helps while I'm gone." And you guys, I fucking bawled. I cried so hard. That marriage was better than my parents, better than better than any of my friends. Like, that's the thing that I aspire to, and I think I can get there. But right now, my dating life, not there so much. In fact, like, the closest thing I can relate my dating life to right now is just being an Atlanta sports fan. You know? Not expecting a whole lot. Go Braves. But I keep showing up, you know? Coolest thing I ever did was in the summer of '95, you know? Go Braves. Tinder's been weird to me, you know? Like, it's strange. Like, I went home with a girl who was 10 years younger than me. I was 29 at the time. She was 19. I worked with her, go home, things are going well. But then, right when things were about to get pretty serious, in the back of my head, there was a voice that said, "She wasn't born when Space Jam came out." Hey guys, not even the Monstars are that gross. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't do it. Same, like, I went on a Tinder date with a girl. Things actually did go pretty well, but then they started to fizzle out, and I was like, "What's going on?" She's like, "Your beard, you know, like, I don't really, like, it doesn't feel that great when you go down on me." And I'm like, "Really? That's weird. I, like, never needed a safe word when I choked you. I didn't realize that I'd need one when I went down on you. Just, like, let me, you know, loofah your nethers, and it's good for everybody." I don't know. I think that one of the things about, like, dating, I come on too strong way at the beginning, you know, because I'm like, this is who I am. This is it. You're seeing it. Like, I confess a lot of shit right up top, and I think I need to stop telling people that, like, you're looking at a dude who had his dick pierced for 7 years. You know? And every time I tell someone that, they're like, "Oh, was it like the ring through the hole?" And I'm like, "No, I like to party. I'm not a fucking monster." You know? I had the thing where there was like a little bar, not a little bar. It wasn't like a little bar. It was a perfectly average sized bar. The bar was fine. I never had any complaints about the size of the bar, but it was a bar that went through the bottom and just kind of was there. I loved it. But my friend was like, "You know, that's just one rung of a Jacob's ladder. Why didn't you ever get any more?" And I'm like, "Well, I didn't want to know how many rungs it would take." You know? Only 4? That's not a Jacob's ladder so much as it is Mo's step stool. I recently did get out of a pretty serious relationship, and it's going okay. It's just that, like, I keep getting all of these little reminders about her, you know? Like, I'll be drunk late at night, and I'll call my Uber, and the predictive address is her address, and I'm like, fucking Uber, come on! I'm drunk. You're supposed to be helping me make good decisions. All right, let's go. But though this is the one that like really fucked me up, is that like I was in bed and I found one of her hairs on my pillow. See it. And we broke up a year ago. It might be time to wash these fucking sheets. Let me get out of here on this. That relationship, I was able to try anal sex for the first time. And anytime I bring up butt stuff, people are like, fuck yeah! Everyone should do butt stuff, you guys. Everyone. Get shit put back up in there. It's great. But here's the thing about the first time that they don't tell you in pornography is butt stuff the first time can be kind of awkward, you know? And I think the most awkward part about it is picking out the right strap-on. I'm gonna let that one sink in because I know I did. I'm Joseph Highsmith, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around.
That was Joseph Highsmith, everyone. Give it up. Give it up for all the comedians you've seen tonight and for yourselves. That was Comedy Planet. We do this every first Saturday. Make sure you come out. Don't worry. Even though there are no more comedians, the bar is still open, and we're going to be playing music. So come hang out. All right.